Hello and welcome, I'm your host, The Hidden One, and let's get right into another Call of War video. So this is the third episode of the Call of War Let's Play. And today I thought we'd start with Spain, because this has been a much more interesting game than my original. And so I thought I'd divert attention here, but I will go to the original game as well and update you on that. So, last time I think we were talking about the UK, invading the UK, so I was going to get Scotland and Ireland, but as you can see I've got a bit more than that at the minute. And then also we were talking about invading Canada, and I can tell you that has gone extremely well. We have basically ruined Canada's army, which was invading the United States. And so they're in serious trouble. The player actually panicked and decided to quit the game because they're no longer active. So I'm currently invading both the United States, which went inactive when Canada invaded them, and Canada. So they're in pretty weak positions, but there's still pockets of resistance. So here, for example, we've still got some troops of the United States, and we've dealt with many more. But it is a mess at the minute. But we have done a very good job, and we've still got more to expand into. But I think my plan is going to be to create a line here, so that I can have some time to recover, develop this land, and then push on. And also you can see that I've started moving troops and ships back to Spain. And so this is where I need to do some explaining. So I did say previously that I was allies with France, because I was surrounded by them, and also they were just good people and we worked well as a team. And they honestly, what a great player. They'd done exceedingly well. They were number one for quite a time in the game. However, this is where Call of War gets really annoying. So what happens is, if you're doing really well in the game, you have war with quite a few other players, then the AI starts to take notice and start imposing trade embargoes on you. So, for example, Germany, I've got a trade embargo imposed by them, who are inactive, so they're controlled by the AI. And then eventually they'll declare war on you and invade you. And this means that you can end up with loads of maybe not as powerful nations declaring war on you, but it's all of them at once that can cause an absolute pain. And it seems that France, that they were stretched really thin because they were having to deal with UK, they were having to deal with the Soviet Union, Japan, and they just couldn't cope. So when Germany invaded, their strategy was to go at Germany, but really they would have been better off staying on their what was their border with Germany. So unfortunately, France had to leave, as it was just an uphill battle, and I didn't think they were going to win it. And so France has very graciously allowed me to take their holdings in England and Wales. So that's why I'm invading them. And then also I've taken some of their African land, and I'm also invading the south of France with the Germans, which is worrying because the Germans will probably invade me, and that is why I'm moving a lot of my troops back. And so, yeah, see here, all these troops are moving back in case Germany invades me. Because I really don't want that. No one wants that. No one wants Germany to invade, because they do have the strongest land army. And because this player decided not to play for some bizarre reason, it means that the AI are now in charge of one of the most advanced and strongest nations in the world. So though I may own a lot, I am not the strongest. I'm the strongest economically, but militarily, I'm definitely not the strongest. And then also Italy, I have to be careful of Italy. They've been like they've just been weird. The players been coming on every now and then, but they've not actually done anything. The only reason they got Chur, which is a province which is part of Switzerland, was because it rebelled from Germany when they were invading France. So, yeah, completely weird. And so, I'm not sure how this is all going to turn out, to be honest. So, as for what my strategy is, for the future, so I've strengthened my ties with Romania. They've been an extremely competent player, and so within the last few days we added them to the coalition. Though they've not got a massive army, what they do have is a lot of useful provinces with good resources. So they have a strong economy, and also because it's all contiguous, all of the land is pretty much joined together. It means that they're extremely well placed to fight off invaders, and they can get their armies to their front lines much quicker than I could. For example, where I've even moved my capital from Madrid to Lisbon as a sign of showing that I'm shifting my focus to the new world. So I'm in a position where I could be potentially vulnerable if I'm moving, as I am now. Quite a few troops and ships back to Spain in case of an invasion. So my plan is again to basically take all of North America down this line here, and then build up. I've got to get my morale sorted, and that's partially why I moved the capital a bit closer to North America, because how it works is the closer your provinces are to your capital, the happier or like the better morale you're going to have. So if I switch to the morale map, so it's displaying morale, you can see that in general North America is definitely not happy. So they're having average morales of below, sub 25, and so 25 is when they're likely to rebel. Anything that's 25 or below will have smoke, which indicates that there are riots taking place or a war is going on. And so I'm really having to work on that. So that was partially why I've moved my capital just even slightly. It does help. From Madrid to Lisbon, and then I need to take over the rest of the UK. That should be quite easy, as there's very little land resistance from France. France has made it quite easy. I'm just going to have to be careful about their ships, because they haven't moved those yet. And then I'm going to have to establish a front line that I could defend the Germans with, and I'll have to build fortifications to help, because my army isn't probably going to stand the test of time with Germany. So if I build a good front line along here, maybe I'll be able to fight them more effectively, hopefully drain their army, and then be able to have a counter-attack. But preferably I don't want a war with Germany at all. But I'll probably end up being forced into it. Then Africa, so I'm gonna change the map back. So then there's Africa as well. I'm gonna take over most of French Africa, but I'm gonna have to be mindful as well that I don't drain my food, because unhappy provinces don't really give much back in terms of their resources. So I need to think about that for sure. Yeah, so that's it really for that's it really for this map. And then I guess I will get on to the other map. Yeah, so this map, we've got some, we've clearly made some great progress. We're second on the leaderboard. We've grown massively since last time in terms of our points, and Romania has taken the lead, and they've done extremely well as well. I'm very impressed with them. So yeah, time to move on to the other map, the 25 player first map. So now we are on the 22 player map, where we're the Southern United States. And so, as for updating you, Northern States of America went inactive as soon as I took out their friend, Canada. I think they didn't feel as motivated to play because I'd basically dealt with their friend. And so, despite us being allies, he clearly didn't want to be in an alliance after that. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be in an alliance with someone who'd betrayed my friend. So, that's the situation at the minute. He still owns basically entire countries, though. So, but I don't really know how much land they have. Sorry, how many troops he has. So I need to sort of gather my troops, go in heavy, and deal with any resistance I meet. So that's what I'm doing here in Morocco. I've got a huge number of troops there, and here, which is really vital at this stage in the game. Actually, according to the newspaper, I do have the mightiest army. So I own 14% of all of the world's military power, according to this. And then, as for my strategy now, so I'm allies with Yugoslavia and the Russian Empire, and basically we're the last remaining good players. And so we just decided, you know what, we want to kind of get on with finishing this game. So what we're going to do is what we have done is we've made a coalition together. So we're apparently the Axis, or whatever you want to call it. We've got to we need to get us how many points to victory. So the game rules. So the coalition needs to get 715 points in total together to win, which I'm sure we will be able to do quite quickly. If I invade, obviously Iberia and then Great Britain, the British Isles, we should be in a good position to win. And also Russian Empire is going after Sweden. So yeah, I don't think this game will last very long. I was originally going to try and go all across Africa, but really at this point I don't think it's necessary. I just need to maintain some forces in case, again, the AI decide that they don't like me and declare war out of nowhere, which is extremely annoying. So yeah, that's what is going on here. Yeah, we've done very well. I think we've been very lucky, really, in this first Let's Play series. Both in Spain and in the Southern United States, we've managed to do a good job. But I do have some criticisms for myself. So one of them is I haven't really built a strong enough air force in this game. So if you look in research for the air, I haven't even bothered to do any research for the air section, which is pretty bad. But then, have I needed it? Not really. The main focus is have a strong land army to conquer North America, and then you really go full on with the Navy. But even then, I've not done a great job with the Navy. I've got quite a lot of ships, but I don't have very strong or good ships. The other thing as well is I've really struggled with getting my production of food, wheat, up, despite me investing quite heavily into infrastructure and also in ports. So that's been a bit weird. So in future, what I'd like to do is I'd like to balance my army more so that I can more effectively conquer regions and all of that stuff. But other than that, I think economics-wise we have done pretty well. I think I've got the strongest economy in this game as well, but that I think it could be stronger, and what it actually says is that the others have done terribly with their economies. And then as well, we've not been number one, we're number two again in this game. We're trailing behind Yugoslavia quite substantially. But then I guess Yugoslavia's got that geographical advantage, and also it's really necessary to take out big players early on in this game mode. Otherwise, later in the game, you'll have AI declaring war on you because you've been invading loads of little countries, and that's something I've done as Yugoslavia before. I invaded all of the little countries, all the AI countries like Hungary, Albania, Greece, Bulgaria, early on, and then I had the strategy of building up after that. And what happened was, once I expanded into Romania and Turkey, I got so unpopular that the AI in Italy was very strong at that point, and then it just invaded me, and then I defeated Italy. Then Germany invaded me, and I was about to defeat Germany, and then France joined in. So yeah, then I was totally in a very bad position. I couldn't win at that point. Sort of like how France is at the minute with Germany. They can't win. It's an uphill battle, and I did try, believe me, to save it, but no luck. So yeah, overall though, pretty successful first round, and I hope the season concludes relatively soon. It's been great fun, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It is something very different, but nonetheless, it's been great fun to film, and it's something a bit different. Again, from what I'm doing, and I won't do this for a while after the series is finished. I want to try and branch out into more Assassin's Creed again. But wow, it's been it's been a really intense but also fun challenge. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it and subscribe, and also tell your friends. It really helps. Word of mouth is so important. And yes, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.